여러분은 포터머란 사이트를 아시나요? 신비한 동물사전 시리즈가 나오고 세계관이 커지면서 지금은 위저딩 월드란 이름으로 바뀌었는데 이 사이트에서 몇몇 질문에 대답을 하면 기숙사에 배정이 되는 테스트가 있습니다. 해리포터에 나온 배우들도 이 테스트를 해보았는데요. 론과 레빌 역으로 나왔던 루퍼트와 매튜는 허플퍼프에
Hufflepuff. Yeah, no, I feel pretty good. Wasn't what I was expecting.
I got Hufflepuff, and I'm thrilled. No, I am really happy with Hufflepuff. Of course I am. Excellent. That's cool. That's wicked. Thanks, guys.
지니아 루나 역으로 나왔던 보니아 이반나는 그리핀도르에 배정되었습니다.
Guys, I'm a Gryffindor. See? Gryffindor. Gryffindor.
Thrilled, but also like not surprised.
루나는 레번클로였지만 배우인 이반나는 그리핀도르가 나왔다며 손뼉을 치며 기뻐하는 게 재밌네요. 해리포터 영화를 보거나 소설을 읽어보셨다면 아시겠지만 각 기숙사마다 확연한 특징이 있어요. 그리핀도르는 용기, 레븐클로는 지성, 슬리데린은 야망 이런 식으로요. 허플퍼프는 친절함, 선함으로 유명한 기숙사로 그래서 그런지 어둠의 마법사를 가장 적게 배출한 기숙사로도 유명합니다. 사실 허플퍼프는 해리포터 시리즈에서 가장 인기 없는 기숙사였기에 주인공들처럼 그리핀도르에 배정되길 원했던 몇몇 아이들은 크게 실망을 했다고 하네요. 그중 한 아이가 허플퍼프에 배정되었고 실망하여 허플퍼프에 대한 질문을 롤링에게 던집니다.
What would you say to people who are disappointed that they've been sorted into Hufflepuff on Pottermore?
그러자 롤링은 이렇게 대답합니다.
This may surprise people, but it is the truth. In many, many ways, Hufflepuff is my favourite house. Here's my reasoning, bear with me. Again, I don't want to spoil things too much for people who haven't read the whole series, so I'm going to say what I'm about to say quite carefully.
Okay.
There comes a point in the final book where each house has the choice whether or not to rise to a certain challenge. And that's everyone in the house. The Slytherins, for reasons that are understandable, decide they'd rather not play. The Ravenclaws, some decide they will, some decide they won't. The Hufflepuffs, virtually to a person, stay, as do the Gryffindors. Now, the Gryffindors comprise a lot of foolhardy and show-offy people. That's just the way it is. I'm a Gryffindor, I'm allowed to say it. You know, there's bravery and there's also showboating, and sometimes the two go together. The Hufflepuffs stayed for a different reason. They weren't trying to show off, they weren't being reckless. That's the essence of Hufflepuff House. Now, my eldest child, my daughter Jessica, said something very profound to me not very many days ago, actually. She said to me, and she, by the way, was not sorted into Hufflepuff House, but she said to me, I think we should all want to be Hufflepuffs. I can only say to you that I would not be at all disappointed to be sorted into Hufflepuff House.
아주 적절한 예를 들어 기숙사의 성격들을 보여준 것 같네요. 호그와트 최후의 전투가 벌어졌을 때 슬리데린 학생들 대부분은 자신의 부모가 죽음을 먹는 자이므로 참가할 수가 없었고 레븐클로는 반 정도만 참가했는데 그리핀도르와 허플퍼프는 대부분이 참가했다고 합니다. 그런데 그리핀도르는 용기도 용기지만 남에게 보여주기 위해 나선 점이 크다고 하네요. 그러나 허플퍼프는 정말 순전히 정의를 위해 전투에 참가했다고 합니다. 이런 점을 보면 진정한 용기는 허플퍼프 학생들이 보여줬던 것 같네요. 그래서인지 롤링은 신동사 시리즈에서는 주인공으로 허플퍼프 출신 뉴트 스캐맨더를 내세웠나 봅니다.
I'm a female writer, and what's interesting about the wizarding world is when you take physical strength out of the equation, a woman can fight just the same as a man can fight. A woman can do magic just as powerfully as a man can do magic. And I consider that I've written a lot of well-rounded female characters in these books.
원작자 롤링과 출연 배우들의 인터뷰를 보며 멋진 여자 캐릭터들을 함께 분석하면서 다시 한번 그들의 매력에 빠져봅시다.
As an author, none of the women ever gave me trouble, actually. It was always the men that gave me trouble, never the women. But Harry came to me as Harry, and I never wanted to change that. Because switching gender isn't simply putting a dress and a pretty name on a boy, is it? A lot of preoccupations and expectations are different on men and women, and so the books would have been incredibly different, I think.
Considering the protagonist is a male, I don't think it was so obvious at the beginning that she very much wanted to portray her female characters as very strong-willed and sort of admirable, but as the films went on, I think you can really see it.
It's interesting for me with Harry because throughout the series he is so much a boy in search of a father, and yet at these times of real stress it's his mother that's our place of refuge. And I think that it's not very hard to see the reason why. My mother died 6 months into the writing of Harry Potter, and I became a mother to a daughter. So I just suppose that as a woman and as a daughter, maybe I feel that that's a form of love that doesn't get explored as much as it should do, given that it's it's so formative in everyone's life, for good or for ill. Funnily enough, I founded a charity called Lumos, which is about institutionalized children, largely in Eastern Europe. And some of the many disturbing things I found out from being involved closely with that charity is how much measurable brain damage is done when a child is taken from its mother and placed in an institution. And when I say measurable, you can scan the brain and you will see that pathways haven't been made, and you can never get that back. So in fact, what I wrote about Harry having been incredibly loved in his earliest days is measurably true. That will literally have given him protection that no one can undo. His brain will have developed in a way that Voldemort's brain didn't, because Voldemort was, from the moment of his birth, institutionalized. So I suppose, yeah, Lily was representative of safety in a way that a father couldn't be, because he's constantly told, you look just like your father, he's got to live up to the expectations of his father, his father, his father. But Lily is something different. Lily's the person who stood by the cot and tried to stop her baby dying.
Harry, Mama loves you. Harry, be safe.
So yes, mother love is hugely important in the books.
첫 번째로 롤링이 설명한 캐릭터는 주인공인 해리, 그의 어머니인 릴리입니다. 해리포터의 이야기는 해리가 살아남은 날 이후부터 시작되기 때문에 표면적으로 릴리는 많이 등장하지 않지만 이야기 전체에 영향을 미치는 아주 중요한 역할을 맡고 있습니다. 해리가 선택받은 아이, 특별한 존재가 될 수 있었던 건 그의 능력이나 운명 때문이 아닙니다. 바로 릴리의 사랑, 오성애 때문이죠. 우리 주위에서 흔히 볼 수 있는 사랑이지만 가장 강력하고 특별하다는 걸 다시 깨닫게 되네요.
Fred, you next. He's not Fred, I am. Honestly, woman, you call yourself our mother. Oh, I'm sorry, George.
I just think it's so cool that Jo has Mrs. Weasley and really kind of like pays homage to this incredible mother figure and how key her role is in keeping that family together, to her taking care of Harry and, you know, the whole of Dumbledore's army, really.
Thank goodness you two are all right. Apart from the three main characters, of course, Harry and Ron and Hermione, Mrs. Weasley is the greatest force for good, I think, in it. She's the mother of that world. And I think that is very female.
What impressed me with Julie was you always had the sense, I felt, that this wasn't just this warm and cosy 1950s housewife pottering around her kitchen. There was some real steel in there. Now, you could say there would have to be steel in the woman who raised Fred and George, otherwise you would go start staring mad. However, it was totally plausible for me when she stepped forward in the Great Hall and thought, right, you bitch, you're getting yours. And you thought, yeah, she is about to get hers. Bellatrix messed with the wrong woman.
Not my daughter, you bitch. It comes from her womb, that feeling of defence, defending her child. She's already lost one. So it's the mother, you know, the lion, the female lion or tiger defending her babies, you know. So it's unstoppable, which is wonderful.
Because that's good, because it's a mother really going through it, which is great.
I doubt if that probably would have taken place had it been a man writing it.
I really enjoyed killing Bellatrix, and I really enjoyed having it be Molly that did it. And of course, you also have two very different kinds of female energy. They're pitted against each other. You have Molly, who will mother the whole world if she can, and you have Bellatrix, whose idea of love is very perverse and twisted, and that was satisfying. But there was something else I wanted to do with the way that Bellatrix ended. And this was very important to me. Very early on in writing the series, I remember a female journalist saying to me that Mrs. Weasley said, well, you know, she's just a mother. And I was absolutely incensed by that comment. Now, I consider myself to be a feminist, and I'd always wanted to show that just because a woman has made a choice, a free choice, to say, well, I'm going to raise my family, and that's going to be my choice. I may go back to a career, I may have a career part-time, but that's my choice. Doesn't mean that that's all she can do. And as we proved there in that little battle, Molly Weasley comes out and proves herself the equal of any warrior on that battlefield.
해리포터 세계관에서 대표적인 어머니상이죠. 위즐리 7남매들과 해리까지 따뜻하게 품어줬던 몰리입니다. 주부라며 어찌 보면 평범하게 보일 수 있겠지만 그녀는 자신의 아이들을 보호하기 위해 벨라트릭스에 맞서 싸울 만큼 엄청난 용기와 능력을 보여줬습니다. 엄마는 위대한 여자라는 말이 떠오르네요.
And I also loved that Professor McGonagall got her moment to really show what she could do.
Pierre Totem Locomotor!
Teachers have been so repressed in how they see Hogwarts, obviously from its new sort of ruling, that you can see that they're just itching for you know, their fight back against evil. And I love that for Professor McGonagall. She just completely just shows what she's made of.
I don't like the marginalisation of women when the fighting breaks out. You know, we get to fight too. I really wanted that. In fact, there was an earlier draft. I know there was, at one point, it was Harry who took on Snape in that confrontation, and I really didn't want that to happen. In the book, Minerva McGonagall is the one who does it, and for me it was very important that she did that.
스네이프를 제압하는 맥고너걸 교수님도 정말 멋졌죠. 영화 각색 가정에서 해리가 스네이프를 제압하려 했다니 원작 소설처럼 맥고너걸 교수님이 이 장면의 주인공이 되어서 정말 다행이네요.
I felt that you know, I had a lot of fully fledged members of the Order of the Phoenix who were female and who were fighting alongside the men, and I really needed to show some female Death Eaters. And Bellatrix is the female Death Eater par excellence.
Bellatrix is not a great advertisement for prison, if this is what it's done to her. But she is doing everything for Voldemort, and she follows him over the precipice like a lemming.
There's an interesting thing, isn't there, about female psychopaths? They often need to meet a male counterpart to release that part of themselves, and that's how I see Bellatrix.
She is the only true follower, I think Bellatrix thinks.
He is the only person to whom she feels subservience. She has that curious personality disorder or quirk or whatever we're going to call it, that I think is peculiarly female, and Helena portrays that with such gusto. It's fabulous to watch.
벨라트릭스가 없었다면 해리포터가 이렇게 재밌을 수 있었을까요? 볼드모트의 오른팔이 되어 행동대장으로서 사실 볼드모트보다 더 무서웠던 게 벨라트릭스였던 것 같네요.
However, it's my strong feeling that of the two sisters, Narcissa and Bellatrix, Narcissa is a much more decent person.
It's interesting that J.K. Rowling decided to do that. She decided that the woman that would risk her own life to save her own son understands loyalty and understands preservation of life.
I think one could argue that Draco, who is ultimately revealed not to be an evil character, Draco got his goodness from his mother. And ultimately, there's an echo of what Lily did, quite a conscious echo of what Lily did right at the start of the story, at the very end of the story. At the start of the story, Lily dies to keep her son alive. At the end of the story, Harry lies pretending to be dead on the ground, and it's her mother who saves him again. because she's trying to get to her own son. So that was my, you know, that was closing a circle. He was saved there by Lily, and he's saved there by Narcissa. Is he alive? Draco, is he alive? I do strongly express my worldview in the books. Dead.
벨라트릭스의 여동생 나시사를 통해 또 다른 모성애의 모습을 보여줬습니다. 릴리, 몰리, 그리고 나시사까지 다양한 모성애를 한 작품에 모두 표현한 롤링이 정말 대단하네요.
One of the things I find most revolting in life is self-righteousness that covers self-interest, and that was Umbridge from beginning to end. And she's actually quite as sadistic as Bellatrix, but under, you know, it's all justified because I work for the ministry. So, horrible woman.
She has this kind of like horrible double side to her, where on the outside she's all fluffiness and pinkness and niceness and ugh, and then on the inside she's just evil, just like pure evil. Yes.
I think this is just making the most of what really little power she has, but she will hang on to it and keep clearing people out as long as she can, her last breath.
볼드모트를 착하게 보이게 만들어버리는 한국에서는 암브리지라 불리는 엄브리지입니다. 완벽히 짓눌러서 멘탈까지 끝장내버리는 악역 중 악역이죠. 실제 롤링이 학창시절 가장 싫어했던 선생님을 떠올리며 창조해낸 캐릭터라고 하네요.
The main female characters aren't there as a sort of like added bonus, which I feel like so many female characters are. Even Ginny is this incredibly powerful, stubborn, intelligent, quick-witted woman.
Obviously, as Ginny's character develops, you really see her as very independent, and I think people portray female characters as very loud and chatty and needing to show their maybe sexuality, and although it's not really needed. So I think that's what makes, I think, Jo Rowling's female characters very strong, because they're a bit more naturalistic and a bit more down to earth.
Shut it!
Thanks.
She's just true to herself no matter what. And I think that's a really important message.
원작 팬분들이 소설 지니와 영화 지니를 자주 비교하죠. 영화에서는 소설의 반의 반도 못 따라가서 너무 아쉽네요. 이 신발끈 장면으로 영원히 놀림당할 것 같아요.
Even Luna, who's this very like airy-fairy kind of like in her own world character, still has this amazing conviction in her beliefs, and she's still incredibly smart, and she's very emotionally clever.
The key to Luna is that she has that unbelievably rare quality of actually not giving a damn what anyone else thinks of her. Now, if we as adults say honestly how many people we've known like that, I think very many of us would say none. And Luna's like that. She doesn't actually care. She's so comfortable with being different. She's fearless. And I loved writing scenes where Luna and Hermione were together, because Luna and Hermione are the absolute antithesis of each other, and yet I love them both equally.
루나는 후반기로 가고 있던 해리포터 시리즈에 새로운 활력을 넣어줬었죠. 남의 시선을 전혀 신경 쓰지 않는 게 루나의 최대 매력인 것 같아요.
I think the three main characters work as a trio, and part of what makes it work is their gender, and I have fun with that. I have fun with that in Deathly Hallows, when it's three main characters alone in a tent, and Hermione says, "I notice I'm the one who gets to do the cooking because I'm a girl, I suppose," and Ron says, "No, it's because you're the best witch, and you're the best at magic." So it was fun to play with that.
You're amazing, you are.
Always a total surprise. They couldn't get through a day without her. She really is, she's the brains, she's the best at spells, she's always 2 steps ahead. She's very much part of the action.
헤르미온느는 원작자 롤링이 자기 자신을 투영해서 만든 캐릭터로, 그래서 그런지 둘은 많은 면에서 닮았습니다. 어릴 적부터 책을 좋아했던 롤링처럼 헤르미온느 역시 책벌레였고
I checked this out weeks ago for a bit of light reading.
This is light. The kind of teasing that Ron gives Hermione for being clever and always being in the library, and you know, I've had that my whole life. Guys giving me a hard time for doing well and being smart, and so I can totally relate.
You're saying it wrong. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
You do it then if you're so clever.
Go on.
롤링은 일반적인 소설에 나오는 전형적인 미녀를 여주인공으로 원하지 않았고 어릴 적 자신의 모습처럼 평범한 소녀 헤르미온느를 만들어냅니다. 소설 해리포터가 영화가 되면서 당연히 여주인공 헤르미온느를 캐스팅해야 했고 놀랍게도 누가 봐도 예쁜 전형적인 미녀 엠마 왓슨이 캐스팅됩니다. 이 점에서 많은 원작 팬들이 반발하기도 했죠. 이에 대해 다니엘과 대화를 나누던 롤링이 이렇게 말합니다.
You and Rupert and Emma are all too good looking, frankly. You are, you know, the characters were geeky and you...
Did you know that was going to happen? Did you sort of think they might...
I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
I did, particularly when I... Do you know what? It was really lucky I spoke to Emma first on the phone before I met her, because I fell absolutely in love with her. She said to me, I've only ever acted in school drama plays before, and God, oh my God, I'm so nervous, I can't believe I got the part. And then she spoke for like 60 seconds at least without drawing breath, and I just said, Emma, you're perfect. And then when I met her and she was this very beautiful, which she still is, of course, beautiful girl, I just kind of had to go, okay, it's film, you know, deal with it. I'm going to still see my gawky, geeky, ugly duckling Hermione in my mind, but...
Do you think that in a way we shot ourselves in the foot with things like that for then Emma's reveal in the fourth film, where she comes downstairs and there is supposed to have been this transformation?
Well, exactly.
Because we're all looking going, well, she was already a beautiful girl.
Yeah, big deal. Now she's a beautiful girl in a beautiful dress.
Yes.
And putting her in Fair Isle sweaters in the first film didn't make her ugly. Not that Hermione in the books is ever ugly, but it was quite a big deal for me that I had written, you know, a strong female character who was primarily about brain, and that she chose to become a little more groomed and glamorous as you know, us geeks do at a certain point in our lives. But I accepted it. Emma's a great actress, and I loved her as a person. And I felt there were so many connections between her and Hermione that did it matter that she was beautiful? Come on.
롤링이 상상하고 소설에 묘사한 것과 다르게 엠마는 너무 예뻤지만 가만히 있어도 뿜어져 나오는 지성과 똑부러진 성격이 닮았었기 때문에
I'm Hermione Granger.
또 다른 인터뷰에서도 롤링은 스스로 최선의 선택을 했다고 말합니다.
From the first moment that I spoke to Emma, I just thought, oh, thank Christ. I did, because, you know, who knew who they were going to cast as Hermione? I was more worried about Hermione than anyone else. I thought, you know, are you going to get a girl and put her in glasses and then she'll, you know, because that shows she's clever. I mean, how many times have we seen that happen? And I spoke to Emma on the phone. She was very young. I think she was 10. And I thought, you are going to be able to play a very bright, articulate girl with conviction because that's who you are.
엠마가 캐스팅된 후에도 제작진은 최대한 헤르미온느와 비슷하게 만들기 위해 노력했습니다. 소설에서 나온 그녀의 큰 앞니를 재현하기 위해 테스트까지 마쳤지만
Can you turn towards me? Just towards me. And again, say, my name's Emma Watson.
My name's Emma Watson, playing the part of Hermione Granger, and I'm having a teeth test at the moment.
What, a what test?
Teeth test. Teeth test.
Okay.
호그와트 직행 열차를 타고 집으로 돌아가는 장면이 첫 촬영이었는데 이 장면을 자세히 보면 큰 앞니를 끼운 엠마 왓슨을 볼 수 있어요. 첫 촬영을 해보니 발음 때문에 가짜 앞니를 빼기로 합니다. 엠마의 외모가 소설 헤르미온느와 다소 달랐기 때문에 엠마 역시 헤르미온느를 재현하지 못할까봐 처음에는 두려움이 컸다고 합니다.
I felt like I had the most pressure in a way because if I screwed up Hermione, I would be screwing up a part of Jo and just would have been awful. I remember she sent me a letter after the third movie. She wrote me a letter and she said, "To my perfect Hermione." And to hear that from the creator of her was obviously the biggest compliment I could receive, and I knew that was when I really knew that I'd done a good job.
아무래도 영화라는 매체가 시각적인 면이 강하기 때문에 여주인공이 예쁘다면 영화 흥행에도 도움이 되겠죠. 그런 점에서 우려했던 예쁜 예모는 오히려 장점이 되었고 많은 사랑을 받으며 완벽한 캐스팅이라는 찬사를 받게 됩니다.
I wouldn't say that I based any of these women on specific women that I knew, but Hermione is an exaggeration of me. So Hermione really did come from a very deep place inside me. I was very insecure. Still am quite insecure in a lot of ways, but I was a very insecure person for longer than I like to admit. And I think writing about the time in Hermione's life that I write about, growing from childhood into womanhood, literally, because when we finish the book, she's 18. I think it brought back to me how very difficult it is. So much is expected of you as you become a woman, and often you are asked to sacrifice parts of you in becoming a girl, I would say. Hermione doesn't.
롤링은 지적이고 자기 주관이 뚜렷한 헤르미온느의 성장기를 보여주면서 독자들에게 많은 기감을 줍니다. 특히 헤르미온느와 비슷한 나이대의 어린 소녀들에게 롤모델의 모습을 보여줬죠.
I've had countless mothers come up to me and say, you know, just thank you so much for giving my daughter a role model. She absolutely idolizes Hermione. And I feel really privileged to have been able to play her.
I would like to think that Hermione is a role model for girls. You see, I was a plain, and that is relevant. That, you know, that is relevant. That's not a trivial thing when you're a kid. I was a very plain, bookish, freckly, bright little girl. I was a massive bookworm. And I spent a significant part of my reading looking for people like me. Now, I didn't come up with nothing, you know. I remember Jo March, who had a temper and wanted to be a writer, so that was a lifeline. There's a heroine in a book called The Little White Horse that I've spoken about publicly, who was plain, and that was fabulous. Wow, you get to be a heroine and you get not to be a raving beauty. But you know, these were pretty slim pickings. And then in creating Hermione, I felt I created a girl who was a heroine, but she wasn't sexy. Nor was she the girl in glasses who's entirely sexless. Do you know what I mean? She's a real girl. She's a girl. She fancies Ron, but her hopes initially are pretty low, and she's a real girl. But she never compromises on being a smart girl. She never compromises in acting dumb. She never tries to make Ron feel better by pretending to be less than she is, which is why they don't get together a lot sooner. That's the reality of life. But I'm proud of Hermione. She is who she is. And if that, you know, if that spoke to girls like me, then of course I'm hugely proud of her.
헤르미온느라면 지성을 중시하는 레번클로우에 배정되는 게 더 자연스럽고, 집요령 같은 약자를 도와준 착한 심성을 보면 또 후플푸프에도 잘 어울릴 것 같아요. 그러나 마법모자가 그리핀도르에 그녀를 배정한 이유가 볼드모트에 맞서 싸울 수 있었던 영웅적인 용기를 더 높게 샀기 때문이겠죠.
To Miss Hermione Granger, with the cool use of intellect, while others were in grave peril, 50 points.
해리포터는 아이들을 대상으로 한 책이었지만 어른들도 헷갈려 할 정도로 꽤나 복잡하고 이야기도 방대합니다. 이러한 이유로 당시 많은 출판사가 마법사의 돌을 거절했다고 하네요. 이 커다란 세계관과 복잡한 스토리를 시각화하기 위해 작가인 롤링은 직접 리스트를 만들고 그림도 그리는 등 스스로 많은 노력을 했다는데요.
This mass of material was generated, some of which will never find its way into the book, will never need to be in the books. It's just stuff I need to know for my own pleasure, partly for my own pleasure and partly because I like reading a book where I have the sense that the author knows everything. They might not be telling me everything, but you have that confidence that the author really knows everything.
작가가 세계관에 대해 모든 걸 알고 있다는 느낌을 독자에게 주고 싶어서 책에 넣지도 않을 부분까지 조사해서 글을 썼다고 합니다. 그런 그녀의 노력은 여러 곳에서 볼 수 있었습니다.
Okay, so this is to the untrained eye might look like a pile of waste paper, but this is 10 years' work. As you can see, I file meticulously, and I know where every single piece of paper is. But I've dragged out a few bits and pieces. So this is the name of everyone in Harry's year, and all these little symbols mean what house they're in, how magical they are, what their parentage is, because I needed this later for the Death Eaters and so on, and the various allegiances that would be set up within the school. I like this. This was 98, and this was me trying to find words for the Dementors. So I have all these Latin words written all over the inside of my diary. I used to cover just about anything with writing, as you can see.
해리의 동창생 40명의 이름을 짓고 한 명씩 기숙사에 배정하는가 하면 복잡한 위즐리가의 패밀리 트리도 그렸으며 불사조기 사단을 적을 때 전체적인 스토리를 시간순으로 배열해 놓기도 했네요.
Discarded first chapters of book 1. I reckon I must have got through 15 different alternative chapters of book 1. The reason for which I discarded each of them were they all gave too much away. And in fact, if you put all those discarded first chapters together, almost the whole plot is explained. This is an old notebook in which I worked out, and again, I don't want you to come too close on this. That is the history of the Death Eaters. I drew a lot of pictures. I drew them for no one but me. I just wanted to know what the characters looked like. So anyway, that was Argus Filch. No prizes. Snape, obviously. That is Harry arriving in Privet Drive with Professor McGonagall and Hagrid and Dumbledore. That was a Gringotts cart. Mirror of Erised. That's the Weasleys. Professor Sprout.
일러스트도 많이 그렸다고 하는데요. 마법사 애돌 초기 원고에는 주석과 함께 많은 일러스트도 포함되어 있었다고 합니다. 참고로 이 원고는 롤링이 자선 행사를 위해 경매에 내놓았는데 2013년 당시 15만 파운드, 원화로는 2억 4천만 원에 낙찰되었다고 합니다. 그녀의 일러스트를 하나씩 살펴보자면 마법사의 돌의 1장엔 살아남은 아이를 위해 그린 그림이 두 장 있었습니다. 하나는 덤블도어와 맥고너걸이 해그리드로부터 해리를 건네받는 모습입니다. 왠지 모르게 영화에 나온 배우들과 닮은 느낌이네요. 두 번째 그림은 더즐리 집 현관에 놓여있는 해리의 모습입니다. 하룻밤 사이에 부모를 모두 잃고 버려진 한 살 해리가 안쓰러워 보이네요. 더즐리 가족과 함께 사는 해리의 모습도 그렸습니다. 인물을 그려내는 형태력이라든지 해칭으로 명암을 표현하는 능력이 상당하네요. 해리 뒤편으로는 더즐리 가족의 가족 사진도 있는데 목이 없는 버논, 목이 긴 페투니아, 그리고 금발 더즐리를 보아하니 소설에 나온 묘사와 똑같이 표현했네요. 니키 콜드런에서 다이건 앨리로 통하는 문이었죠. 벽돌이 열리는 장면을 시각화한 것인데 영화에 나온 모습보다 훨씬 더 화려한 것 같아요. 벽돌들이 소용돌이처럼 동그랗게 움직였다가 문이 됩니다.
I like this one. I thought I'd lost this picture actually because I was going to show it to Chris Columbus. And true to form, I only found it when it was no use and they'd already filmed that bit anyway. But this is how the entrance to Diagon Alley works in my imagination.
다음으로 볼 일러스트는 그린고트 금고로 가는 해리와 해그리드의 모습입니다. 소설에서는 해그리드가 어지러워했다고 나오는데 얼굴을 부여잡고 어지러워하는 모습을 잘 표현한 것 같습니다. 그룹폭은 수염도 있는데 마치 조그만 지니 같네요. 이제 호그와트로 가볼까요? 기숙사 배정모자가 기숙사를 정해주었고요. 퍼시가 그리핀도르 학생에게 피부스를 소개하는 장면이네요. 피부스는 소설에서 꽤나 많이 나왔지만 영화에서는 모습을 아예 드러내지 못했습니다. 퍼시는 원작 소설에서 안경을 썼었지만 해리를 더 돋보이게 하려 했는지 영화에서는 그러지 않았네요. 제 기억으론 안경을 쓴 학생은 해리가 유일했던 것 같습니다. 죽은 개가 있는 건 론일 거고요. 사자갈기처럼 큰 곱슬머리를 가진 아이는 헤르미온일 겁니다. 말 그대로 목이 달랑달랑한 닉도 그렸었네요. 퍼시, 프레드, 조지, 그리고 론의 모습입니다. 앞에서 말했듯이 퍼시는 안경을 썼었고요. 론은 이때 훨씬 어렸을 건데 형들과 키가 비슷하죠. 프레드와 조지가 영화에서 키가 아주 큰데 소설에서는 론이 가장 크게 그려집니다. 다음은 마법약 교수인 스네이프입니다. 큰 코와 마치 박쥐 같은 옷차림이 인상적이죠. 캐스팅 디렉터가 앨런 닉먼과 롤링의 드로잉이 상당히 비슷해서 캐스팅했다고 하죠. 다음은 마법사의 돌 9장인 한밤의 결투의 한 장면을 일러스트한 건데요. 원작에는 네빌, 론, 해리, 헤르미온느가 나오는데 그림 아래에 노트를 보면 게리라고 쓰여져 있습니다. 초창기에는 딘에게 게리란 이름을 줬다고 하네요. 그림을 보면 딘의 얼굴에 쉐이딩을 넣은 걸 볼 수 있는데 이는 흑인을 표현하려고 했던 것 같아요. 이들을 잡으려는 필치의 모습도 그렸네요. 아주 심술궂어 보이는 게 잡히면 큰일 날 것 같습니다. 키디치를 아주 잘 설명해주는 일러스트네요. 맨 위에 공을 막는 게 파수꾼으로 축구를 생각하면 골키퍼라고 생각하시면 돼요. 득점하는 선수가 추격꾼, 즉 공격수죠. 블러저를 치며 추격꾼과 수색꾼을 방해하는 선수가 몰입꾼이고요. 마지막으로 스니치를 잡으려는 선수가 수색꾼입니다. 다음은 소망의 거울을 바라보는 해리의 모습으로 제임스와 릴리의 모습도 대략적으로 볼 수 있네요. 이제 비밀의 방으로 가볼게요. 비밀의 방의 주요 캐릭터들을 그린 그림인데요. 얼굴이 꽤나 자세하게 묘사되어 있습니다. 삼총사 중 론이 가장 키가 크고요. 헤르미온느의 앞니가 토끼처럼 굉장히 큰 걸 확인할 수 있습니다. 소설에서의 도비는 1m가 약간 넘는 키고 해그리드는 3m가 넘을 거라고 하죠. 영화 버전 도비는 90cm 정도였고 해그리드는 230 정도였다고 하니 둘 다 영화에서는 조금 작게 보여진 거네요. 식물을 사랑하는 펌프리 교수는 굉장히 친숙해 보이네요. 어디선가 한번 본 듯한 인상을 가진 것 같아요. 불사조 퍽스의 모습은 생각보다 귀엽네요. 그리고 마지막으로 보여드릴 그림은 호그와트 주도인데요. 해리포터의 세트 디자인을 담당했던 스튜어트 크레이그는 해리포터 전에 엘리펀트맨, 미션, 채플린 등 여러 명작의 세트 디자인을 했고 간디, 위험한 관계, 잉글리시 페이션트로 3개의 오스카까지 거머쥔 프로덕션 디자이너로서 최고의 이치까지 올랐던 거장입니다.
The first person hired was Stuart Craig because this world had to be created.
Honestly, your first reaction is fear. I thought, oh my God, how can I possibly do this, really?
Starting with Stuart Craig was one of the best decisions that we made on those pictures, and Stuart's just a genius.
He really has brought Hogwarts and Joe's universe to life. It is his creation.
When we first began this whole series of films, Harry Potter 1, we met Joe Rowling and had loads of questions, masses of questions to ask. And this was in fact her layout drawn at a hotel dining table of Hogwarts. All the major ingredients, the Dark Forest you see there, the castle, the Quidditch pitch, the Black Lake, Hogsmeade, everything is on there, the complete world. Without that little hand-drawn map, I would never have got to grips with it in the way that we did. It was the most terrific gift.
호그와트를 재현하려고 할 때 아주 애를 먹었는데 그때 롤링이 대략적인 호그와트 지도를 그에게 그려줬다고 합니다. 그는 이 스케치를 보물처럼 여기며 호그와트를 디자인했다고 하네요. 재밌게 보셨다면 구독과 좋아요 꼭 부탁드리고 더 궁금한 점이나 공유하고 싶으신 이야기가 있으시다면 댓글로 남겨주세요. 그럼 저는 최대한 빠른 시일 내로 유익한 영상으로 다시 돌아오겠습니다. 지금까지 WOO였습니다.